Okay, we'd like to welcome Tommy Fleetwood into the interview room here at the Players' Championship, our reigning FedEx Cup champion, making his 9th start at this event. Tommy, welcome back. If we can get some comments on being here this week.
Just nice to be back. I think it's always a tournament that everybody gets really excited about. I think the biggest compliment you can give the golf course is that I think everybody holds it very high on their list, and I think, there's always a wide spread of opinion, but nobody can ever really say anything negative about Sawgrass, which is always an amazing sign for the golf course. I think it's an amazing test of golf, one of the best we play all year, and there's been some big tournaments already this year, but I think the Players, sort of where it sits now, always marks like the start of a big period coming.
Let's talk a little bit about the state of your game. 2 top 10s this year and 3 starts. Just how are you feeling coming into the week?
Yeah, I started the year well. I think, I didn't play particularly well the first 2 events in Dubai at the start of the year, and then last week I felt like I was scruffy again. Like I played poor for the first 2 days, and then I felt like when I started hitting it better, I was having one of those weeks where then I scored terribly, like I chipped and putted really poor. So last week was like a bit of a battle, but Pebble Beach and Riviera, I felt like I played some really, really good golf and had some really good results there. So there's been a lot of positives. I would love to be playing a bit more consistent, but I still think there's been so much good, and just looking forward to getting in the process and preparing for this week and getting myself into the best place possible come Thursday.
Okay, we'll get started with Claire and then Brody.
Hi, Tommy. This is not a golf question. Your clothes lately. Are you going into the pro shops and buying the hats yourself? And then how are you picking out the rest of the outfit?
No, I've been given the hats. But this one, I actually traveled with this hat when I came out to America a few weeks ago. I genuinely think my middle boy Mo bought this about 2 or 3 years ago when he was here last. He's actually much more of a hat connoisseur than I am, so I trust his judgments. But I threw this one in. I just thought it was a great hat, and I sort of didn't even pack with the players in mind, but I ended up having the players' hat. So this is what I've got on for now.
And then what about the rest of the outfits when you're putting those together? How are you?
I've been given a lot of stuff, which has been really kind and very, very cool. But yeah, I'm just in that period where, I have the freedom and the luxury of trying what I want or wearing what I want and seeing what I like. So I think there's just such a widespread of clothes that you probably never paid attention to for such a long time. I had what I wore and everything. And so it's pretty cool, really. I'm enjoying finding things that I like, whether that be the look or the material or whatever it is, and going out there and wearing that. So like I say, I'm one of the few that's in that kind of lucky position at the moment that I just get to experiment and try a bunch of stuff and wear some cool stuff, because there is a lot of great stuff out there.
All right, let's go here on the right, Brody.
Tommy, with recent events in the Middle East, have you had to make any arrangements for your family and whatnot on their safety or movements?
No, they're still in Dubai at the moment. I think, it's been a strange time. I can honestly say that my family have been very, very safe. I think the UAE, the country, have done a unbelievable job at making everybody feel very safe and very secure and handling that. So I think we feel very lucky there. They're supposed to travel soon, so I think they're looking at traveling whenever they can. But the main thing has been that they are safe. I honestly can't speak highly enough about how well the country has handled things for the people that are over there. I haven't experienced it. I've been over here, but no, my family are sort of as happy or as comfortable as they could be in the situations that are going on. So I think we're all very grateful for how everybody's handled it over there.
Was that tricky at all to be playing a golf tournament while managing that as well?
I don't really like to make excuses. I definitely wouldn't be one to say whether it has a role in how I play or not. I think Bale's hard enough, but I think you just do the best with whatever cards you're dealt with, and try and just when I'm working or playing or practicing, just throw myself into that. No doubt I would love my family and everybody that's involved at the moment or in and around the area to be in a sort of more comfortable situation. But like I say, they've handled it unbelievably well. And all I can say is that my family have felt very, very safe. So, yeah, like, I don't know. You know, I'm here trying to play golf and working on it. And golf has its like ups and downs. But, you know, I'm sort of still enjoying the process of practicing and working, knowing that everything's okay.
All right, let's get Joel, and then we'll come over to Tom.
Tommy, do you feel like after winning an East Lake, is it correlated to maybe opening up your expectations at all, or just how has anything changed on your own game since your triumph at Tour Championship last year?
Yeah, that's always the battle for everyone, right? I think I've said it a lot. I think one of the hardest things to manage in sport or in life is your own expectations. Without them high expectations, you don't get as far as maybe what you could. But at the same time, you have to manage those things. So I went through an amazing period of golf last year, and I found myself in a position in the game that, you know, world ranking wise, and of course winning on the PGA Tour, winning the FedEx, it's positions that I've never been in before. But at the same time, very, very, very enjoyable, and I've enjoyed finding that new level and then working towards trying to, first of all, maintain that level and then trying to improve as a golfer as well. Because I think, you know, ultimately, the goals and the process doesn't really change. Like you know, had a great period there. The FedEx was amazing, something that's very special. I had a great finish to the season here on the DP World Tour. But you still just want to improve every day. So it's just, if you can fixate yourself on that process, and whoever you are as a golfer, you know, world number 3,000 doesn't really matter. You know, you have to wake up every day and you have to try and get better and keep on track and trying to keep up with everybody else in this game, because there's an unbelievably large amount of good players that can play well at any time. So, you know, I still find myself very good at focusing on that, and you know, and I'm not, when it takes you, I don't know, how many years did it take me to win? I think it sort of sets you up to manage the next period well. Like, just because I won once, like, you know, might never win a tournament again. I don't know. I think I will. And I hope I win a bunch. But, you know, I'm not really too worried about that stuff. Just continuing to focus on trying to be the best golfer I can be, and whatever I turn up with today, try and be better tomorrow.
All right, to the left here, Tom, and then over to Doug.
Hey, Tommy. Tiger, for the first time in forever, is not eligible for this event. And we know the history of this event, not given exceptions. If Tiger wanted to play...
Tiger not eligible for this event?
He's not.
It's unbelievable.
If Tiger wanted to play, what would you say?
Yeah, I'd love Tiger Woods to play. I can't believe he's not eligible. How about Tiger Woods at golf? No, I am actually very surprised. I didn't realize, I wasn't really sure what criteria goes into this tournament, but if Tiger Woods wants to play anywhere in the world, I think, I think Tiger Woods should be able to play.
All right, Doug, and then over to Scott.
Tommy, during practice rounds, would you ever consider going over to the drop zone on 17?
Yeah.
Have you done that before?
Yeah.
Why? You're the first, by the way. Congratulations.
Am I really?
That I've talked to, anyway.
Well, yeah, I think you just don't want to... Well, for me, I think that just... It's in my frame of mind in preparation, really. Of course, I'm not planning on hitting it in the water. But at the same time, I think the hole has enough, like, mental challenges that if you do hit it in the water, you just want to be prepared. Like, I would, you've hit it in the water, okay, like, well, just walk to the drop zone, I've hit this shot, knock it on the green and go from there. So I think it's just, I don't do it in any negative way at all. I just do it in a form of preparation, hey, if somebody said to you now, you can go to the 17th hole with a 2-shot lead, but you're going to hit it in the water and you've got to walk to the drop zone, would you take it? I'd probably say yeah, and I'll go practice from the drop zone. So I just think that there's an element of preparation in there, and it's just something, as much as it's like you drop it and it's like 80 yards or 70 yards, whatever it is, and yeah, should be pretty simple. I just think I prefer having hit those kind of shots, and that's just how I feel.
Have you ever gone to the drop zone at 11 at Augusta?
At 11? I haven't actually. I've hit it from the drop zone on 11 in the tournament. I've not done it. I've not done it in practice. But you're right. That's the same kind of thing, I think. Just preparation, and know that nothing's going to catch you by surprise, or you're not going to be in a situation that maybe you haven't sort of done before.
Thanks.
All right, to the left, Scott, and then back over to Keith.
Tommy, you and probably everybody else on tour can empathize with what Shane Lowry went through a couple of weeks ago when you seem like you have a tournament in your hands and it gets away from you. How do you explain to average people that even guys who have clinched Ryder Cups, under that pressure, can still have trouble closing out a golf tournament? And is it just that hard to do?
Yeah. It's a really good question, and my experience of it was, I think, so the longer it goes on, I think you can make it, as much as you might have your own thoughts. I think negative thoughts are a very natural thing to creep in. They're just thoughts at the end of the day, but I think when people are watching and talking as well at the same time, I think that's an added layer to it. And like winning, I think winning is a very good habit to be in, and I think there's definitely players in the game right now that are winning plenty, but they're in that sort of mode of knowing what they've done a few times that got over the line. Some events they might not feel like they should have won, and they did. Some events they win, or I think it just happens that way. And I think for me, Atlanta was great for me because I felt like I didn't do anything that different to the times that I would have been looked at as giving it away or having lost that. But I was lucky to have that experience where I did win. There's no doubt Shane is going to win, like probably pretty soon, and it could be something really, really big. And when he does, I think he or whatever experiences have come before will be a good thing because you learn from them all the time. But yeah, winning can be difficult, but at the same time, he could do bless you. He could win a tournament and feel like maybe he shouldn't have won it because he didn't hit the shots that he thinks he did. I don't know. Shane's won a lot of tournaments, and yeah, you look at the Ryder Cup. So I don't necessarily think it's like a pressure thing. I think it's just the fact that winning a tournament maybe just needs to happen, and then he'll win a bunch maybe.
And to follow on that, did anybody ever say anything to you after you went through something that meant something to you? And do you talk to guys like Shane or other guys who have had the same thing happen? And what do you say to?
Yeah, of course I would talk to Shane, and I would say what I would say to myself, like you're much better being there and it not happening than not being there at all. Like I guess you could easily look at Bay Hill last week. I would have rather been in contention on the last hole and hit it in the water and lost by one than finish 49th. Like I would have rather done that. Like it's so I had the close people to me, like my friends out on tour, would give me words of encouragement and a pat on the back or whatever it would be after the weeks where I didn't get it done. And like I said, there'll be times that I do that again, and I'll get the same thing from my friends, and I'll do the same to guys where it doesn't happen, and then you celebrate the times that it does. That's just how it goes. But like I say, I always believe you're better being there and it not quite happening than not being there at all.
All right, far right, Keith.
Tommy, along those lines, sorry if this is a little redundant, but like when you have a mediocre week like last week, you have a knack to be able to bounce back. You did it after Dubai. When you came over here, you had a couple back-to-back top tens. Is there a way that you reset?
No, not really. I think you just every week is a fresh week. I hope I do have a really good week this week after sort of struggling a bit last week. I will definitely have worse weeks in my career than finishing 49th at Bay Hill. I know that, but no, I think again you try and work and you try and practice to have your game at a highly consistent level, and then I guess recently, just when I have had a poor week, like my game has come around and I've done things well and I've played well the next week. I don't get caught up in what might happen this week or expect that I'll play great, or like go all out to sort of, right, I'm going to bounce back this week after not having a good week. Just know that you always feel better when you know you're doing the right things and working on the right things in your game. And whether that takes 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months for it to come through, for it to come good. Because a lot of time, you don't get the results straight away from doing good work. So, but I think if you know you're doing the right things, then good things will happen at some point, and that's sort of the mindset I have. And if you can bounce back straight away and have a great week, then that would be great, But it's always every week is a fresh start, and whether you've won last week or whether you finished last, everybody starts again on Monday, and everybody starts at level par at the start of Thursday, and you have a chance to potentially have the best week of the year or whatever it may be. So always try and go into the following week with a good mindset.
All right, let's take a few more. Let's go to Sean in the middle.
Tommy, Luke's going to captain the European team for a third straight time, and I think it feels universal that people just think he does everything right as a captain. I'm curious, from your perspective, has he done anything specifically for you that made you feel more comfortable? Has he managed your preferences in a way that you would point to when you talk about his captaincy?
I think he's done a great job of being very. He's had a lot of communication with all players. I think he's done that. I think he has like a great leadership style. He's definitely grown into that leadership role that he has, and he's never going to be the loudest in the room, but as a leader and a captain, he probably has the strongest presence, and I think we all respect that very, very much. For me, I've always been close with Luke anyway over the years, and I think I've always felt very comfortable. If he ever asks me a question or wants to talk about things, I've always felt very comfortable talking to him, and being open. And I think that's a big compliment to him. I think he does that with everybody. I think nobody ever feels like they can't say anything or anything like that. And he's definitely been very good. I mean, it's been great. He's given me great partners in the Ryder Cup. I think I'm very grateful for the people that I've played with in the Ryder Cup. He's done a good job of that. And yeah, he just he never really asks sort of what position you might want to play in, even, singles or foursomes or four balls. I think everybody trusts him to do that, but then he always makes you feel great about it. He makes sure you know why you're playing in that position and all of that. So, he continues to learn all the time. I think he's very keen on that. And yeah, he's been an amazing leader for the last few years. Looking forward to the next 2 years under him.
Does he make you think about how you would want to be a captain?
Yeah, I've learned off every captain that I've played under. In any tournament, in any format. I think I probably have a lot of similar personality traits to Luke, so I probably resonate with a lot of his leadership. So yeah, I'm trying to, if I was to ever get the opportunity in the future, of course, I'm trying to learn as much as I can and take that. I think there's definitely players at a certain point in their career or players that do it very, very well, and you try and pick up as much as possible from them.
All right. Well, Tommy, we appreciate your time. Best of luck this week.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.